I remember Mortal Kombat being like a life-changing experience for me. I found a cabinet that was in like a animal feed store, like a supply store for farmers that was near where I grew up. I had to have been at least like 5 or 6, but no older than that. And it was like Mortal Kombat 2. The arcade cabinet was the only video game in the whole store, which you wouldn't even expect for there to be a video game in this store. And I remember turning around while my mom was at the counter buying whatever and seeing somebody getting kicked in the face and blood splattering out. And I was just like, holy shit, that looks like real people. Because remember, they had like the the video, like motion capture shit. It wasn't even like, just animated characters. It was real people that they used. So it was mind-blowing for me. Mortal Kombat was such a big deal.
So for me, we went camping all the time, and I wouldn't call it like glamping, and I wouldn't call it camping. It was kind of like a mixture. We still slept in tents, but there was an arcade there with pool tables and all sorts of games. So there was Mortal Kombat there, and I would play it all the time. And I always played a Sub-Zero, but I always got my ass kicked because I could never... I don't think that I ever knew that there was combos. Mm-hmm. So I just button mashed, until my fingers hurt. And my stepbrother
It's a technique. It works sometimes.
All the time.
It worked for you when we played rival schools against each other.
Yeah.
A few
my
nights
hands
back,
hurt because I tried so hard.
Well, those PlayStation classic controllers aren't really the greatest in the world either. But yeah, Mortal Kombat, I would say, has been one of those arcade experience firsts for many people in our generation. It wasn't the first arcade cabinet I'd ever played, but it was definitely the most violent game I had played in an arcade, and made the biggest impact probably.
Well, you were young.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jesus Christ, it was a game changer. It really was. I know that that's such a cliche to say, but it really changed everything. It had a lot of people talking about the violence, and it's never, to a lot of people, been done justice on screen.
That's what I was going to say. So how did you feel about the movie?
I feel like the movies are fun for what they are. They're campy. You got to remember, during that point in time, video game movies and superhero movies and shit like that were just like not...
Yeah.
They didn't care about making them...
put the money...
Well, they did.
Not
like Batman Forever and some of the shittiest superhero movies had great budgets. That wasn't the problem.
Think about a superhero movie now. The budget for it now is
Look, the Dark Knight trilogy changed everything. It really did. And I would even argue sooner than that, Blade changed everything. Mm-hmm. But there have been several adaptations at this point where it's time that Mortal Kombat has its just due. There were some shorts that were made and released on Steam, actually. Those were some of the first things that I'd ever gotten on Steam. They were free. And they were just 1 to 2 minute Mortal Kombat stories that were done. That were actually done really, really well. And then you just see all these versus videos that people make, just fan videos of well, what if this character fought this character? And you see these Mortal Kombat characters done in such a great way. It was just a matter of time before they were taken seriously and put on screen for real. The best that it could possibly be done without insulting the audience's intelligence. And that's what this is supposed to be. And they just released a trailer for it today. Is there anybody you're looking forward to that you're hoping that you get to see in the trailer?
Is his name Goro? Forearm?
Yeah.
Jack dude? So
ponytail, bald.
As a kid in the movie, that scared the fuck out of me.
I think he's like a dragon demon or something.
I
don't know. Goro's some kind of fucking crazy. What is Goro in the comment section? It has something to do with the dragon. No, it literally has something to do with a dragon. I just can't remember right now.
I don't even know.
Murdered brain cells. Anyway, we have the trailer up. Let's check this out.
First learned about this 7 years ago on a mission in Brazil. to capture a wanted fugitive. When we got there, it tore through our unit in seconds. The target had superhuman abilities.
I don't know why I was
It had the same marking you do, Cole.
It's a birthmark.
What do you mean?
He was born with it.
It's not a birthmark, Cole. It means you've been chosen.
Throughout history, different cultures all over the world reference a great tournament of champions. That dragon marking? I think it's an invitation to fight for something known. As Mortal Kombat.
These are your champions.
I'm Sonya. That's Kano.
I'm Liu Kang.
Name's Jax.
Kung Lao. Lord Raiden. The fate of Earth is in our hands.
No matter how many of my people you put in the ground, we will not fail. Kill them.
Kano wins. You fucking beauty.
Who was that?
Like the actor?
Yeah.
I don't even know. I wasn't paying enough attention.
I'm gonna have to look. There's no way that it's who I
Who?
think it is. I don't even remember the show. There was some like cheesy sitcom-y show that I watched as a teenager, and he looks like him and he sounds like him, and it was like he owned an Irish pub. And I'm gonna have to look.
I don't know. I get invested in the characters too much to like try and see the actors. Like for me, I'm just seeing,
Well, that's the only person
Kano.
that I really like recognized.
I'm conflicted in a weird way. I think it looks amazing, and I don't want anybody to think that I'm saying this is a bad film or it looks bad or anything. But like seeing certain people not play certain characters anymore kind of breaks my heart in a way that I think that they had Shang Tsung like perfect. They had, I mean, so many of the characters, like the guy that they had playing Johnny Cage and stuff, because he was like this cheesy Jean-Claude Van Damme, like, and he's not going to look like that.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
different.
but that cast that they had it been done like this, would be considered just like, amazing. It looks like they're taking things much more seriously. It looks like there's some crazy character development going on with stories that we're all, pretty well familiar with. Like, there are just things that are going to be different that I wish were the same, but with this level of seriousness and intensity.
But if it was, then it wouldn't.
I know, you know me, there's
I know.
always going to be like a nostalgic like ache in my heart for certain things like this, but Jesus Christ, that looks badass. I think I'm more excited for like the Sub-Zero Scorpion shit than anything else.
Right. Well, it seems like that's really what they're gearing this toward. Like,
Well, it looks like what the fuck it should be, that's what they've developed, thus far. And hell yeah, if they're doing that, then this is going to be a great movie. What a focal point, like those two characters are just so popular, and for very good reason. They're cool as shit.
there's still like, I'm probably going to get some flack for saying this, but it seems like, I mean, obviously a lot of CGI. So a lot
Has to
of
be.
like,
Has to be.
Oh, it doesn't have to be, but it does have
You
to
couldn't.
be. But
It'd be difficult for like Jim Henson to do Mortal Kombat. Like, I mean, how are you going to make shit freeze?
I
You
wish
know what
that
I mean?
there was a way that it could be like half and half. And it
Like the
probably
Lord of the
is.
Rings.
It probably is.
Lord of the Rings was a lot.
There's just like a lot of like action films that are like this. It just is like so quick that like your mind can't even really process what's happening. So that's kind of what I get from it.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I mean,
Well, this was a trailer, you know, so
Yeah.
they had to make things really fast.
I know.
And I do foresee this being something that has like developed, you know, characters throughout. It doesn't seem like they're going just you know, straight nonstop action to the point where you can't digest the shit that doesn't make sense
Right.
until you think about it. I'm excited for this.
Which seems like that it could be like a lot more films to come from it.
Oh, Jesus, if this is successful, give me a break. I mean, that's what they do nowadays,
Right.
you know, like, of course, if it's good, there's going to be at least a trilogy, and even if it's bad, as we've seen in the past, they'll make 3 of them.
It comes out really soon, too.
Comes out in April. Yeah, so we'll be watching it on HBO Max. So, yeah, hooray.
Hooray.
Movie night. I'm looking forward to it. I challenge you to Mortal Kombat. I challenge you to drop a reaction suggestion into the comments. That would be great. Give us a like, subscription. All that would be wonderful. And I guess that's going to do it for this one.
That's it.
Till then, we'll see you next time.